All right, guys, this is an advanced stretch follow along routine that I use personally myself. I say advanced, not because the stretches are incredibly hard. They can get tricky, but it's due to the being 20 minutes. It is a long time to focus or stretch. So yeah, it's a follow along. It's going to be around 13 stretches being held for about a minute because we're doing both sides. It'll make up to around 19-20 minutes. So we'll just get going straight away. I'll start the watch. We're gonna target the hamstrings, so shoot your hips back, keep your spine neutral, and you should feel a really nice stretch through your hamstrings there. And as you're stretching, we're always focusing on the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. As you're breathing out, you're trying to get slightly deeper. Just ensure you're not losing the neutral spine, because as soon as you round, all the tension is gonna come off your hamstrings. Just try to get a little bit lower if you can. The reason we're holding these stretches for around 60 seconds is because it actually develops the flexibility. If you're holding it for 5 to 15 seconds, it's good for warm-ups, it's good for recovery, but we want to, that's time. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna take my right foot, I'm gonna step about a foot in front, I'm gonna point those toes up towards the ceiling, and my hands are gonna go on the trailing leg. You should feel a stretch through the calf and a little bit of hamstring. Again, shooting the hips back. Toes pointing towards the ceiling, or I'm lucky enough to have a sky and a sun shining. Again, breathing. And into the next one. Left foot forward. So yeah, 60 seconds. Well, your body does not know 60 seconds and it goes, oh yeah, I need to improve in flexibility. It might take you even longer than 30, 60, 2 minutes to get the flexibility benefits, because it might take you a while to get into the stretch, but the longer you hold some of these stretches, the more the merrier, and you will definitely improve your flexibility that way. Next one, we're gonna go into a downward dog. So hands in front, walk them forward, and all I'm gonna do is pierce my head through my arms and look at my toes. Again, I'm keeping a nice neutral spine. I'm gonna feel this stretch through the hamstrings, through the calves. I'm also gonna stretch the lats and the shoulders, and I'm piercing further in. And try to be gentle with this. Just slowly getting into the positions. And as time goes by, it gets slightly deeper and deeper. But yeah, stretching's been it's been awesome for me. There's so many benefits when it comes to preventing injuries. A lot of us will have lower back. Is that time? Yep. Next, we're going to send the hips down. So keep in the same position, hips down. It's a cobra. Okay. And keep the thighs off the floor. Look towards the ceiling. You're going to stretch the neck as well. So we're shifting the hips forward and down without the thighs touching the floor or the sand in my case. Yeah, if a little bit of stretching here and there, preventing lower back pain. As soon as I start running or doing high intensity stuff, my back seizes up, I feel niggles, and stretching prevented that. I'm not saying it's going to fix, everybody's lower back problems, but it can definitely help. Or when it comes to performance, squatting, getting deeper into positions, working through a larger range of motion. Okay, we're gonna shoot our hips back. Knees are gonna go as wide as they can. Knee should be in line with your hip joint right now. Okay, so as wide as you can. You can place your forearms down and then just rock ever so slightly forward and backwards. And you should be able to find a tight spot. For me, it's somewhere here. Once you find that tight spot, just push those knees out. Again, focusing on that breath. As you're breathing out, you're pushing the knees ever so slightly wider. It's almost opposite of the gym. You can't really force stretching. You got to relax into the moves, where in the gym, you know, you're trying to tense and be as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next one is a pigeon. This is quite a tough one. So I'm gonna take my right leg, or my right knee even, gonna put it right in front of me, and I'm gonna try and rotate this foot forwards. So my shin is parallel to where I'm looking at, or the wall I'm looking at. The trailing leg, sending it back, and now I'm gonna try and sit down onto this stretched leg. This one I find really tough. So when I said advanced, yes, due to the 20-minute duration, but yeah, this one is definitely not an easy one. If you feel comfortable, you can also go into forearms and just apply that pressure. Forgot to mention as well, it's going to be stretching the glute, and if you're feeling in your glute, you're doing it right. There's another variation where it's like a king pigeon. Oh, switch sides, left knee forward, bring that foot up. I like to hold the foot in place because it has a tendency to travel back, and then I don't feel it in the glute as much. But yeah, there's a different variation where it's a king pigeon and you grab the rear foot, but we're not going to be trying that today. Again, focusing on the breath as I'm breathing out. I'm sinking ever so slightly deeper. But yeah, I feel like stretching is delayed gratification. You do something that is going to make you better tomorrow, in a week, in a month's time. Yes, you will feel great after you stretch, but the benefits of mobility benefits and looking after yourself, the recovery improvements, they're gonna look after the next session. And 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Okay, I'm going to take my left foot, step forward in this sort of split squat position, and I'm gonna take the rear ankle and I'm gonna try and drive it up. And then now the hip that I'm stretching, it will look better this way. I'm gonna try and push it forward. As I'm pushing it forward, it's a bit unsteady on its hand. As I'm pushing it forward, you will feel the hip flexor being stretched and the quad being stretched. Use something here for balance. Now this is quite an advanced move, and you will, I don't know, you might struggle. What I do prefer doing is putting this rear trailing foot on the sofa, a box at the gym, anything of that sort, because it has a consistent base where with the hand I can, you know, kind of shuffle in a 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna switch, right foot forward, left ankle, try to grab it. I don't think I've stretched many times on sand. Here we are. Again, just slowly move into it. Just coming back to the point where, you know, your body doesn't know time. Yes, we're doing it for 60 seconds. Sometimes it takes me 45 seconds just to get into the position where I actually get the benefits from it. But the better you get, it's a skill. The quicker you can get into a stretch, the quicker you'll get the benefits. So try and maximize how good you are at stretching, because then you'll stretch for a shorter period of time, which is probably a good thing, so you can do your fun stuff. Some people might enjoy stretching, so don't want to diss them. But yeah, I'd rather chase PBs. It's very hard to PB at stretching. I suppose touching your toes or doing the splits, but yeah, next one. So we're gonna do a double foot kneeling stretch. You're in this position, kneeling, and I'm just gonna start slowly going back. The key thing here is keeping your hips forward, okay? So it's a straight line. And then again, I can have a box or a sofa there to support myself. If you're a little bit more flexible, you can use your feet there. And again, breathe in. And if you're really flexible, you can start going onto your elbows. I'm not quite at an elbow level yet, but you should feel a really nice stretch through the hip flexors, the quads. What's the time? There we go. Okay, and relax. Right, we're gonna go into upper body. Most of the exercises are lower body just because it tends to get a little bit tighter than upper body, but we can't neglect the upper body. I'm going to go into, I think it's a child's pose it's called, and I'm gonna walk my hands forward, and then these hands are gonna go 45 degrees to my right. Once I'm there, I'm gonna try and look through the armpit in front of me. And this way, you're gonna feel a massive stretch through your lats. So keep piercing that head through the armpit, and you should feel the stretch. I'm not gonna do it now because the mic's gonna get blocked off, but yeah, you're trying to pierce your head through there. Okay, and we're gonna walk the hands slowly to the other side, walking them to the left. Again, around 45 degrees, and I'm piercing my head through the armpit. But yeah, as far as delayed gratification, I heard a podcast the other day, and they spoke of it like being a butler for yourself. Doing something today, like stretching, how is that gonna help for you tomorrow? Or he was using an example, if you set your gym clothes the day before, or you prep your meals, you're like a butler for yourself. So when you wake up, the gym clothes are there, the shoes are there, and you can just get going. And you get this massive dopamine rush because you can you understand that you've worked for your future self, like you're being a butler for yourself, which I found really interesting as a thought. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, we're gonna go into a pec stretch. So you can do this with a pole, a wall, or a tree as well, but we're just gonna do it on the floor now. I'm going to put my right wrist on the floor, and I'm gonna look away from that side. I'm keeping the wrist, elbow, shoulders, the other elbow all in a straight line, and I'm gonna drive my right shoulder down towards the floor, just like so. And you should feel a stretch through the bicep and the pec. A really important tip is to try and put the wrist on the floor, not the hand, because if you're putting a hand down, you'll be stretching your wrist rather than your pec and bicep. Again, trying to breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we're gonna switch. So my left wrist is going down. I'm looking away from left to right, driving that shoulder nice and deep. I've not done this many times, so I actually got a list of things to try and speak about, and I forgot any other ones. How you can build this into a routine. So, a lot of times, you tend to do things because you're in a certain environment, or you've just done something, or you're about to do something, and like an action follows. So it's the easiest way to do it. What I mean by that, after you finish your gym session, go for a stretch. Or if it's first thing in the morning, as soon as you've brushed your teeth, the next action that you do, you associate it with stretching. 3, 2, 1, and time. We're gonna do an upper back stretch. So I'm gonna take my right hand and I'm gonna thread it underneath my body, and I'm gonna reach towards that side, my left side. I'm gonna put the shoulder down on the floor. and try and push the body down towards the floor ever so slightly. You should feel a really nice stretch through the upper back, the right shoulder back. And also the spine, it should open up the spine quite nicely here. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and to the other side, take your left hand, pierce it through. So yeah, as far as incorporating into a routine, try and attach it to something. Another thing that you do all the time. If you go to the gym 4 times a week, you could stretch 4 times straight after the gym. I'm not saying to do 20 minutes every time. I've actually got another, like a beginner session, but it's pretty much all these same movements, but it's a much shorter session, 5 minutes. And if that's all you can do, just doing 5 minutes after gym, yeah, your future self is really gonna thank you. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. Okay, come up kneeling now. I'm really sandy. This one's gonna do a tricep and a lat again, and also you can stretch your ankles a little bit. So sit back down, grab your left elbow behind your head and pull it down towards the floor. Breathe in again. And once you feel like you have this position secured, just, ooh, something's on me. Just lean to the right hand side. So I've got my left elbow in my hand and I'm leaning to the right. Again, I'm gonna hit that lat. I'm gonna stretch the tricep. And because I'm kneeling, improving flexibility in my ankles, 2 in 1. Three, 2, 1. Okay, and switch. Gonna take my right elbow behind my head. Sit back down. Just get nice and secure. Feel the stretch through the tricep. And now slowly lean in to the left. Try and breathe. Keep your chest up. The tendency here is to kind of collapse in and perform this. Nice posture, chest proud, and lean. And we're coming to the end of the routine. As I said at the end of the beginners video, the most important thing, 3, 2, 1, and relax. The most important thing you can do after stretching or anything that is beneficial is trying to take note of how it made you feel. Do you feel looser? Do you feel like you've invested in your future self? That delayed gratification, that butlering, as I spoke of previously. And if you can associate that activity like stretching right now to a positive effect, the dopamine is released and it is more likely that you're going to come back to it. But yeah, I think that was about 19 or so minutes. So you saved a couple of minutes as well.